the definition of a budget handgun has completely changed. 10 years ago, spending under $300 meant buying a liability with terrible triggers and questionable reliability. A premium price tag was required for serious self-defense. But welcome to 2026. Thanks to expired patents and advanced CNC machining, that paradigm is dead. Today, features once considered expensive gunsmith upgrades, like flat-face triggers and direct mount red dot cuts, are standard out of the box. In this video, we are breaking down the top 5 handguns you can buy right now for under $300. We'll examine their reliability, features, and why our #1 pick literally broke the industry pricing. Kicking off our list at number 5 is the cornerstone of one of the greatest brand turnarounds in modern firearms history, the Taurus G3C. Priced aggressively on the street between $212 and $284. Verify. The G3C is arguably the most accessible, reliable concealed carry weapon on the market right now. For years, budget guns meant dealing with spongy, unpredictable triggers and finishes that rusted if you looked at them wrong. Taurus completely flipped the script with this subcompact. The G3C features a short 3.2-inch barrel and a remarkably slim profile, making it effortless to conceal inside the waistband without printing through your clothing. But despite its diminutive size, it provides a standard capacity of 12 + 1 rounds, matching or exceeding the capacity of many larger compacts. Taurus also upgraded the slide with a durable Tenifer matte black finish to fight off daily sweat and moisture. And crucially, they ditched the old plastic sights for all steel ones. Even better, the rear sight dovetail is cut to Glock specifications, opening up a massive aftermarket for easy night sight upgrades. But the mechanical hallmark of the G3C is its unique trigger system. It utilizes a single-action trigger with restrike capability. If you hit a hard primer and the gun fails to fire, you don't necessarily have to manually cycle the slide right away. You can simply pull the trigger a second time to strike the primer again. While standard tap rack drills are still the gold standard, having that built-in mechanical redundancy gives daily carriers a serious psychological edge. The G3C owns the budget deep concealment category. But what if your priority isn't hiding the gun under a t-shirt? What if you want a high-capacity, full-grip workhorse backed by a legendary American legacy? That brings us to number 4. Coming in at number 4 is a masterclass in a company actually listening to its customers, the Smith & Wesson SD 9.2.0. For years, the older SD9VE was known as the ultimate budget workhorse. It would fire absolutely anything you fed it. But it had one massive, undeniable flaw: an excessively heavy, long, and gritty trigger pull that felt like dragging a piano through the mud. It was reliable, but it wasn't fun to shoot. Enter the 2.0. With a street price hovering right around $280 to $299, Smith & Wesson completely overhauled the platform while keeping the price exactly the same. The defining upgrade is the new flat-face trigger. This modern design completely alters the geometric leverage, giving you a clean break, a lighter pull, and a highly audible reset that genuinely rivals premium striker-fired guns. It transforms the SD9 from a heavy trigger tool into a highly capable defensive pistol. But they didn't mess with what worked. You still get a substantial 16 + 1 capacity and a stainless steel slide and barrel that shrug off humidity and the elements. And here is the hidden genius of the SD 9.2.0. It is 100% backward, compatible with the millions of holsters, lights, and magazines made for the original version over the last decade. You don't have to wait for the aftermarket to catch up. The gear is already out there, and it's cheap. The SD 9.2.0 gives you the absolute peace of mind of a legendary American brand's lifetime warranty without the premium price tag. But what if you want a duty-sized gun that brings Beretta-backed engineering directly into the budget arena? That's where our number 3 pick changes the game. Coming in at number 3 is the undisputed sleeper hit of the budget 9mm market, the Stoeger STR9. While the name Stoeger might immediately make you think of shotguns, this pistol operates under the massive umbrella of the Beretta Holding Company. They leveraged that premium engineering lineage, combined it with highly efficient Turkish manufacturing, and delivered a duty-sized handgun of unquestionable reliability. And you can routinely find it on the street for exactly $299. Dimensionally, the STR9 goes toe-to-toe with the Glock 19. It's a mid-sized compact that feeds from a standard 15-round double-stack magazine. The slide is machined from high-quality steel and hardened with a black nitride finish, offering exceptional rust resistance and lubricity that completely outclasses standard budget bluing. Where the STR9 really stands out is its aggressive ergonomic profile. The polymer frame features intense stippling and pronounced finger grooves. While some modern shooters prefer flat front straps, Stoeger's design intentionally forces you into a high, dominant grip. It aggressively locks your hand into place, which is a massive advantage for managing recoil and keeping the gun flat during rapid strings of fire. Operationally, it is universally praised for its smooth slide cycling. The trigger pull is a bit heavier than others on this list, sitting around 7.5 pounds, but it is exceptionally consistent, with a highly defined wall and a crisp break. For a defensive tool, a highly deliberate, predictable trigger pull is often viewed as an asset to prevent sympathetic discharges under adrenaline. The STR9 is a Beretta-backed powerhouse for under $300. But what if you want premium forged steel, a cold hammer forged barrel, and a staggering 20-round capacity? Prepare to have your expectations shattered by our number 2 pick. Coming in at number 2 is a gun that completely shatters expectations of what a budget import can be. The Tysys PX9 Gen 3. Manufactured in Turkey and brought in by SDS Imports, the PX9 Gen 3 has rapidly built an ironclad reputation. With street prices often sitting right around $299, this pistol is a formidable top-tier contender that routinely rivals handguns costing 3 times as much. You are getting a robust polymer frame married to a forged steel slide and a cold hammer forged barrel. To put that in perspective, the slide is treated with a tenofere finish, the exact same highly advanced, corrosion-resistant process historically used by premium Austrian and German manufacturers. It doesn't stop at the finish. The PX9 Gen 3 is factory cut for the industry-standard Trijicon RMR red dot footprint. It ships with a highly visible fiber optic front sight and uses a Glock pattern dovetail, meaning you have immediate access to limitless aftermarket iron sights. The grip is incredibly modular, allowing you to swap both back straps and side panels to perfectly fit your hand's exact dimensions. But the most profound advantage of the PX9 is its magazine compatibility. It was engineered to accept Sig Sauer P226 and P228 pattern magazines. Because these have been in global military and law enforcement circulation for decades, they are abundant, cheap, and incredibly reliable. This gives the full-size duty model an astonishing 18 to 20 round capacity right out of the box. The PX9 Gen 3 gives you premium specs and massive firepower for a budget price. But what if you want a blank canvas? A gun that gives you access to an absolutely infinite aftermarket ecosystem because it perfectly clones the most popular pistol on Earth? That brings us to our reigning champion at number 1. And finally, coming in at number 1, we have the undisputed king of the budget market. The gun that literally broke the industry pricing model, the Palmetto State Armory Dagger Compact. Priced right around that $280 to $299 mark. The Dagger isn't just another budget gun. It is a highly refined, aggressively priced clone of the legendary Glock 19 Gen 3. But Palmetto State Armory didn't just copy the original. They fixed the most common complaints straight out of the box. They ditched the controversial, steep Glock grip angle for a more natural, 1911-style profile with subtle palm swells and aggressive stippling. They also added an extreme undercut beneath the trigger guard so you can establish a higher grip, dropping the bore axis to significantly reduce muzzle flip during rapid fire. But the slide is where the dagger completely destroys its competition. Even strictly under $300, you are getting extreme forward and rear slide serrations, lightning cuts, and most importantly, direct milled optic cuts for the Trijicon RMR footprint. You don't have to mess with inherently weaker adapter plates. You can mount a modern red dot directly to the gun. It also typically ships with standard 3-dot steel sights, completely abandoning the fragile plastic sights usually found in this class. Here is the absolute biggest advantage of the dagger. It is a blank canvas. Because it is a 1-to-1 clone of the Gen 3 internals, you have immediate access to the largest aftermarket ecosystem on the planet. You can use standard Glock OEM magazines, incredibly cheap Magpul PMAGs, proven Safariland duty holsters, and literally any aftermarket trigger you want. You don't have to hunt for proprietary gear. The PSA Dagger gives you a fully customizable, optics-ready weapon system for the price of a standard budget pistol, making it the reigning champion of 2026. The era of terrible budget handguns is officially over. But now, I want to hear from you. If you only had $300 and had to trust one of these 5 pistols on your nightstand tonight, which one are you picking? Let me know your choice down in the comments. If you want more no BS, deep dive firearm reviews that don't hold back, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.